accountability, eliminate procrastination, defeat depression, break free from anxiety, a place where you can practice reaching your higher self, feeling free to evolve, a place to feel heard and appreciated, all with love and beautiful healing energy. Welcome to Love Plus Transformation. The body is the technology, but it seems we've lost the.
What's going on today, ladies and gentlemen? Go ahead and put how you feel in the chat. Today is a good day for a great day. I know I can't be the only one happy right now. We on a wake up list. What's going on? I don't see any cameras on. I see like we just peeking in. Let me see what's going on this call. Maybe this is your first time on this call. Maybe this is just your average Monday call that you get on every Monday. Maybe it's the something that you thought, let me just finally get back up on here one day and see what's going on. I don't know. Wherever you are, just know that you're in a good space. You're in a place where your mind is going to be uplifted to a point that any limiting beliefs you have will be shattered. You'll put yourself in a position of power. Most importantly, you'll start to see your worth. If you believe that you are the MVP, the most valuable participant in your life, go ahead and put the trophy emoji in the chat. If you can't put your cameras on, go ahead and put your cameras on. The way you show up in one area of your life is the way you show up in almost every other area. So if you're playing coy or you're hiding behind your potential, then guess what? You won't ever get the lifestyle you truly want. My name is Sean Crewmate, and I develop systems to help you become more effective in less time. So the idea is to be the best version of you. How do you do it? We do it through personal development. Now, if you want to take it to another level and you want to use you want to leverage your skill sets, you step into business development. Now, I want to say this, and I'm going to start out by this. The greatest tool in the world is what? Let me ask you that first before I reveal my answer. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. The greatest tool in the world is what? The greatest tool in the world is, let me see the chat. I see someone says knowledge. You know, knowledge without application, right? It's not power. So, what is the greatest tool in the world? Right, Donnie, the greatest tool in the world is the mind. The most powerful tool in the world is a made up mind. Now, there's also muscles, right? The most powerful muscle in the world is your mind, right? The brain. Now, if this world is an imaginary world, first, before, let me just ask, because some of y'all might not agree with some of the things that I'm saying, but I want to get your take on this. Is this world an imaginary world? Do you live in an imaginary world? Let me know in the chat. Some of you might say no. Some of you might say yes. But let me just break it down to you in plain, simple way. If you're on a device right now and you're on this call, it was created where first? In the mind first, right? Everything that you see in this world that comes into existence was created in the mind first. So when you think about the mind is a powerful tool, but the idea is to work the brain, work the muscle. Because if you don't work the brain, you don't work that muscle, you can't use your imagination at the highest level. A lot of us deal with fear. Put a one in the chat if you deal with fear. Put a one in the chat if you deal with fear. Some things you might be fearful. You get ready to make a decision. Oh, I don't know. I'm scared. I'm a little apprehensive. Oh, they tell you to call up brokers. I don't know. Might not want to call them up. Hey, tell you to call up people to bet on yourself. Raise your hand and speak. I don't know. I don't know. If you're dealing with fear, fear is just a bad imagination. We understand that this world is based upon your level of perception and perspective. So we created these leadership and accountability calls to be able to help you see yourself at a higher level, to be able to visualize it, see it, go get it, and then become the person that attracts everything you want in abundance. Go ahead and put abundance in the chat. I know sometimes you might hear things like, oh, abundance is my birthright. You might hear things of that, and you might kind of do affirmations, or you might have heard of someone doing affirmations. the key aspect of affirmations is affirming who you are and what you believe in, because whatever you believe in, you'll be living. And it's just part of your imagination. So that's what we'll be working on. If you can see yourself at the highest level possible, even when other people may doubt you, then guess what? You're in a good position to be successful. But the issue that we usually find is that most people, if you're the best of the best in your house, go ahead and put a trophy emoji in the chat. If you're the best of the best in the house, go ahead and put a trophy emoji in the chat. If you're the best of the best in the family, go ahead and put a trophy emoji in the chat. Because we know that if you're the best of the best in the family, most likely everyone's calling on you for everything. Everyone's asking you for your help. But who's returning the favor to you? Who's there to help you? And then you look around and you might say no one. So if we take the best of the best out of all of the families and we put them together in this room, then what do you have? Now you have an elevated community, right? So everyone put environment in the chat, because your environment will change you before you change it. You might be in your seeded season, right? You might be in your seeded season where this is just you planting the seeds for the garden of your future. You're planting the seeds for the success of tomorrow. But in order for you to truly flourish and grow into that beautiful plant, you need to be nourished. You need to have somebody water you, pour into you. You need to have the team around you to give you that sunlight. So when we give you opportunities, that's your chance to shine. Don't run away from it and don't resist it. Just accept it and embrace it. So during these calls, sometimes we might have to, if you have a fear of public speaking, we might have to call on you, bring you up, get rid of that fear ASAP. Because the longer you wait to remove things out of your life, the heavier your dreams become. Are we following? If we're following, go ahead and let me know. Put a trophy emoji in the chat. If you're being fearful and you know fear is having a bad imagination, and if fear is getting in the way of you having success, then how long are you going to keep putting off your rewards for the future because of the fear of today? So remember, the longer you wait, the heavier your dreams become. So we are moving with speed. If that's clear, let me know. Put a trophy emoji in the chat if we're clear on that and we can move forward. So last week, I do see some new people in here. If you weren't here last week, I'll start going over the slide that we were on last week. And this right here is super important. Let me share my screen. This right here is super important. And the reason why this is important, because let me ask you this question. What's the thing that contributes to your success and failure the most? Let me know in the chat. What's the thing that contributes to your success and failure the most? Someone said mindset. Okay. What else? Let me know in the chat. Vision. Oh, I like that. Um, our own imagination. All right, cool. I like that. The belief, yes. Remember, whatever you believe in, you'll be living. This is just how the world, the universe works. And everything that we're going to be discussing is based upon principles. And the reason why we discuss based upon principles is because every person in here might have a different version of what they see themselves as, but the principles, you can't escape the principles. Right? Closed mouth don't get fed. That's a principle. If you never speak, you can never be, no one can ever give you what you're asking for. That's just a principle. If you don't get up and use the muscle, guess what? You lose the muscle. That's just a principle. Right? Make sense? If I show up to opportunity late, I might have missed it. That's just a principle. So things that we're going to be teaching you here is just pretty much principles, and they work in any arena. Your job is to make sure that you apply these principles in order to be successful, because there aren't any secrets to success. There are only systems. Everyone go ahead and put the word system in the chat. Let me start sharing my screen. Okay, so this is the keynote that we were sharing, right? Right now, I'm going to. Can everyone see the screen? Let me know if you can still see the screen. Yes or no? Okay, they say yes, you can still see the screen. Okay, 1 second though. Let me see. Okay. So four pillars, the four pillars, this is what we're going over real quick. The four pillars of results. Basically, this is the four pillars of success. These are the four values of business, four values of leadership, all of that. But in order for you to truly see results, in order for you to truly see results, you're going to have vision. Okay, that's number one. I'll try to zoom in a little bit in here because I still have people logging in. All right, cool. The four pillars of results, vision. While I go through this, write this stuff down because when you're writing it down or you're typing it up, you're learning it twice because you're looking at it and you're also thinking of it. So you're learning twice. So write these things down because this applies to any arena. And if you want to move fast, remember, we're talking about becoming more effective in less time. That's our premise here. Everything we do here is to help you be more effective in less time. So you can get rid of the spending major time on minor things, and you can start to really operate in your true highest character, which is your most attractive character. So the four pillars of results, vision. Now, vision is speaking to your imagination. You have to have a vision. Some of us have plans to be successful. Where's your plan at? It's in your head, right? It's not written down and it's not casted in the broadcasted in this physical world as well as the mental. If it's not broadcasted in the physical and it's just in your head, then it's just a thought. But when you make it a vision, is when you can see it come from your head into the reality of this physical plane. Make sense? Okay. So first thing you must have is your vision. Your vision. If you do not have a vision, you do not have a roadmap to get to where you're going, we'll help you get that done today. There's tools that you can have that'll help you get that done. If you already have a roadmap of where you want to be, what you want to do in 30 days, in 60 days, in 90 days, go ahead and put a one in the chat. If you do not, put a zero in the chat. So, four pillars of results. Vision, you must be able to have an imagination. When you look at the root word in imagination, it is image. Who do you see yourself as? Where do you see yourself living? Where do you see yourself being? Where do you see yourself operating? Which image? What is your image? That's super important. If you don't have an image, put a zero in the chat. If you already have an image, put a one in the chat. You know who you are. You know exactly what you stand for, what you're out to accomplish. You know that other people view you this way as well, and they call you this, and it's real and it's tangible. Everyone can see it. All right. Next thing is systems. Remember, this is the look. You can have the vision, you can have all the other things, but without the system, you have no results. At least you don't have the results you truly want. You don't have lasting results. The system is like a foundation. And anytime you're building anything, you need a foundation. If you build something on a shaky foundation, what happens to whatever you're building on? You know what happens, Sharita, right? You know, right? It falls or it fails. Okay, so your system is it's all about communicating and orchestrating. So the system of communication, whatever the system is supposed to be saving you significant time, energy, and money. And if it's not saving you significant time, energy, and money, then it's draining significant time, energy, and money. If your system is draining you, I want you to put draining in the chat. If your system is helping you build, I want you to put build in the chat. So if your system is helping you save significant time, energy, and money, then you put building in the chat. If it's not and it's doing the opposite and it's draining you, you put draining in the chat. So one of the things that your system is supposed to do is be able to communicate to you, with you, for you. Now, you in itself, as a human, you are the ultimate system. You have a way of communicating and creating your reality through orchestration and imagination. So if you think that you can, most likely you won't because you're imagining and then you're orchestrating and communicating that. So remember, if you're speaking negative talk, if you have negative speech, let's work on altering that and having more of an optimistic way of looking at things. Okay? So let us know in the chat. Now, team, this is huge. A lot of us we're solopreneurs, right? Or we may have a job, but then the true passion that we have, we're just looking to do it all alone. You won't get it done alone. You can get some things done, but you will never be complete by yourself. It's just not made that way. God created us to be in groups. So this is why you gravitate to being loved by someone or being in a group or being heard, felt, seen, and appreciated in some sort of way. However, in the four pillars of results, team is what's going to be able to allow you to get things done efficiently and effectively because you may be good at this one thing, but someone else may be good at something totally different. Together, that's when you're better. All right. It's now combining strengths. So you need to be able to be a person that can integrate your ideas into other people's lives. For example, the person who created Uber had a vision, they created a system, and then they started getting teams and they started integrating Uber into your life. Now, Uber is part of your life. Same thing with the person who created the cell phone, the person who created the laptop. They've created products and services that is now integrated into your life, which you're now using on a daily basis. Same thing with the person who created the car. We're following so far? But the people who created these things didn't create it alone. They created it with the team. They got other people involved. So whatever your vision is, whatever your roadmap will be, you must get other people involved. It is no longer going to be time for you to be the best kept secret. Unfortunately, that's done. You playing shy, you playing coy. I'm sorry, that's not getting you the results you want. You tell me if it is. You put it is in the chat or you put it's not working for me in the chat. Do you playing coy, you showing up small, you telling your children, hey, you could be the best you want to be, you could be all of what you want to be, but then you're playing smaller than mini me in the fourth quarter. You're not showing up for you, showing up for everyone else, then you crying yourself to sleep at night because you don't have the team around you. Yeah, because you're not putting your ideas and you're not enrolling people into your vision because you are somebody powerful and everything that you do matters. So that's where we're operating from. Everything you do matters. Other people need to know about it. You need to integrate whatever it is that you have going on in your life in their lives, and you need to make it a mutual thing and help each other out. This is where unification comes in. This is where you're being able to manage other people. Can you manage teams? You might say, I can't deal with anyone else. That's not good leadership. Oh, I'm better to work by myself. That's not good leadership. That's you being jaded. That's jaded ship. That's you being jaded. Making sense so far? All right, cool. So don't forget that aspect. You need to be able to manage people. You need to have a team. And even if it's not a direct team under you and you're the one that's paying them, it still can be a team through integration and you having affiliates, right? So partnerships. Everyone put in the chat strategic partnerships. So while you're going throughout your challenges, while you're going throughout the communities and they're giving you assignments, and you see all the different people that's in the community, you may not get rich with your day ones, but you can get rich with your day twos. So you must start connecting with other people. So you can have a business and someone else can have a business. You can partner together and run the business. So what I did with my brothers, I told them a long time ago, I said, hey man, listen, not a lot of families work together. Not a lot of families, grow together, but we're different. Okay. We're going to grow together. We're going to work together. We're going to learn together. They say, all right, cool. They bought into the vision. I said, whoever has a business, we're all going to support it. If you have a company, you have a company, you have a company, it's all of our companies and we'll all play roles within each other's company. So how we do it is we form like Voltron, and then now the different companies become basically departments in a whole, in one company. So with you and your family members, maybe you have some friends or maybe it's your family, whatever. You might have a tax business, the other one might have a funding business, or the other one might have whatever, a real estate business or whatever, right? You can combine the different businesses and make them like departments because sometimes people who are looking for properties, they may need income. I mean, they may need a capital to be able to acquire a property. And if your friend gets them funded to get the money to get the business or to get the real estate, then hey, that's part of your division. You brought them in as an affiliate, you get paid. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you all? If it doesn't make sense, ask for clarity in the chat though. If it doesn't make sense, ask for clarity. I'm just showing you that in reality, you're never too far away from where you truly want to be. You're always one move away from where you want to be. So if you take the opportunities that we're giving you in this mindset to develop your mind, to work on your mind, work on that muscle, guess what? You're going to be moving faster with more velocity towards your goal than you have ever before. And that is the purpose of these cohorts. That's the purpose of putting you all together so you can find the people that work best with you. So when we have you find your accountability partners or a business partner or just a bestie or whatever, how we word it, Don't just go looking for the person that you just think is cute or you think has nice style. Go for the people that you see raising their hand. Go for the people asking intelligent questions. Go for the people who are asking things and they are moving in a way that you would like a partner of yours to move. Okay, cool. Last, this is a really important part, but I don't want this to go over your head. Without execution, you can't get any of these things. Execution sometimes, in some cases, is the lowest level of value, but it's also the highest level of value, which is why most people who work in the execution stage, they may feel overworked and underpaid. If you ever felt overworked and underpaid, put a one in the chat just so you can identify, excuse me, so you can identify where you're at. Okay. So let's go back to the example with Uber, right? So Uber had the person who created Uber used the vision, they used the imagination at the top of the top. They said, "Hey, I want to create this idea where people can have transportation at the touch of their phone." Cool. They put together systems, and when they put together a system, what they did was they didn't have their own vehicles. They didn't have any of that. They just outsourced the vehicles to other people. Now, fast forward to where it's at right now. Let's just make it make sense. The person who's driving Uber, you may drive Uber in here. This is not a shade to you, but this is for you to open your eyes. If you do drive Uber, right? I want you to think about it. Are you getting paid as much as the person who created Uber? Are you getting paid as much as the person who used their imagination to create the idea? Let me know in the chat. No. No, so you can't complain about the work, the results you got from the work you didn't do. So a lot of us, we feel overworked and underpaid because we're staying at the execution level where all we're being told is what to implement. So the people who are driving Uber are just doing the implementation. They didn't use the vision. They're not the one who created the system. They're not the one who put the team together, and they're not managing the team. They're just the person that's doing the execution. So they go out and do the deliveries or they go out and pick people up. It doesn't matter. It may seem like it's hard. They're working 8 hours and they're busting their butt and they're doing the best they could do. But the reality of it is they didn't do the vision, they didn't create the system, they didn't create the team. That's where if you're looking to get to wealth, ladies and gentlemen, you will have to put some work in. That's what I'm getting ready to express to you. Because if you don't want to put the hard work in and you don't want to be the visionary, then guess what? You're going to be working in somebody else's vision. And I hate to break it to some of you in here. I'm not being rude and disrespectful, but I had to go through this myself to realize what I'm telling you right now. But a lot of you have forgotten your greatness. You've been so busy being good, you forgot about how great you really are. You've been so busy executing in somebody else's imagination, you forgot to dream big for yourself. I'm not coming at you in a negative way. I'm saying this happens to all of us at all stages. So we keep principles around us because that is what's governing us in our results. So these are principles that I'm sharing with you that in any business you need. And these are also 4 roles that are crucial to any business. Now, within these 4 roles of this business, you also have sub departments. And this is how you can start to build out bigger businesses. But the bottom line for all of this is there aren't any secrets to success. There are only systems for success. I can't stress this enough to you. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. And if you are the smartest in the room and you don't know how to have a vision, you don't know how to communicate your vision, you don't know how to really take lead, then guess what? You'll be sitting in the background. You'll be just like a lot of people that we knew who were very talented and then they wasted their potential. Okay, so now that we got that, that's clear. The 4 pillars of results, you need the vision, the system, the team, the execution. See, one is not greater than the other, it's a combination. Life is mathematical, it's all about the combinations in which you do things. That is what is going to give you your results. If you wake up late and you are lazy and you are the type of person who doesn't want to work out, and you're the type of person who really just want to be by yourself, then guess what? You're just going to find yourself executing a job, feeling overworked and underpaid. And that's not a problem because we have all agreed that the person who is just the executor is by default the lowest level of value. Think about it. When you order that Uber Eats and that person delivers that food to you, are you tipping them $100 or are you tipping them close to $5 or $2? Some of y'all don't even tip. You say, hey, leave my food at the door. I don't even want to see your face. So that way I don't feel guilty. Just leave the food at the door and I'll pick it up. Okay. So
Damn, that's cold.
hold on.
Uh,
Let me get that. Hold
if you tip leave for that dog, you see your face. Hell no.
He said no. Yeah, but you get the point though. You get the point, right? Like sometimes some of us are doing that, right? Some of us are actually doing that. Hey, I don't even see my face because I might feel guilty and might have to give you $5 now. But if I don't see your face, then hey, I don't have to give you any tip. But in reality, that's just showing you what we just already said, that the person who is executing, you treat them on the lowest. That's just how it is. So if you're doing that to yourself, you're treating yourself at the lowest level of value. But in essence, it's still a needed role because let's say all of the Uber deliverers they just went on strike and say, hey, you know what? I'm never delivering anything else, and now we have a problem. Okay, so they are important, but remember, if you it's a stepping stone. The execution level is a stepping stone. If you stay stoned, you get stepped upon. Okay, so we don't stay at one position. We're looking to get the titles, move to the next position. So first thing we learn how to do is execute. Once we learn how to execute, then we learn how to be with teams. You learn how to unify teams. Once we learn how to unify teams, we know that systems are a role. Now we have to be able to orchestrate systems. And then we have to use our own imaginations to be able to recreate or create something brand new, something sort of like Netflix. Netflix isn't totally brand new in its model, right? But what they did was they had a vision to see the future and where things were going, and Blockbuster didn't want to change, right? But Netflix used the vision, they used the system, used the team execution, and understood, okay, if we're moving into a digital world, let's make sure all the movies are digital. So some things that we're going to say to you right now might not make sense to you, but in the grand scheme of things, it is. So just follow the direction. So here's the example I'm giving you before I go back through the rest of the slides. Netflix, right? They renovated, innovated, collaborated on the vision of Blockbuster using these four pillars. Blockbuster did not want to move, but think about it. If you're Blockbuster and you're the king of movie rentals, and you've been doing this for years, you're getting a lot of money. You charge $9.99 for each movie, and that's your model. That's your business model. You might get a little upsells when they come into the brick and mortar because you have candy, you have things, you make it feel like a movie theater, right? Popcorn fill, you got all the stuff that you're selling, and you might get a little upsells here. But they did not want to renovate, innovate, and collaborate on a new model the way the world was moving. Some of you are stuck in your own ways and you're comfortable where you're at, but in your comfort zone is where your dreams are died. So when you think about Netflix, Netflix is coming to Blockbuster and they're telling them something that Blockbuster just don't understand. Like Netflix goes, how about you? How about this? How about if you, instead of charging $9.99 for each movie rental, each video rental, you just give it all away for $9.99 a month? Doesn't that not make sense to you? Think about it. Y'all let me know how you feel in the chat. If you're Blockbuster and you're selling DVDs or you're selling VHS or whatever they sell, right? As far as the medium goes, but it's $9.99. And I sell all of each and every one of them individually for $9.99. Then somebody comes to me and tells me, hey, I want you to sell all of it just for $9.99. Give them access to all of these movies for just $9.99. It sounds like it's contrary, right? So the same thing that we're telling you when we say these things up here, it might sound contrary, but guess what? Blockbuster is out of business now. Netflix is in business because they renovated, innovated, collaborated. They was able to see the future. Okay? They was able to see the future. Okay? They was able to see the future. Blockbuster couldn't see that this could change and this could be the result of the future. They said, give away all of your movies for free, but just charge the customer $9.99 a month. See, now they renovated, innovated, because now what they did was instead of having a brick and mortar, they took everything online and brought all of the movies to the clients instead of having the clients go to the Blockbuster brick and mortar. So you have to get creative. Somebody put creative in the chat. You have to renovate, innovate, collaborate in order to get to your next level. You're not going to do it alone, and you're damn sure not going to do it the way you've been doing it. It's not going to work that way. It is only going to work when you start to see that time is moving and you have to either be ahead of the time or with the time. Because if you don't and you're behind the time, you're getting rolled over with time. So please understand, if you're feeling behind the 8 ball now, then that means already you are operating from a past version of yourself and not the current version. So let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. Get right back to this. Let's continue to go. If this is you, put me in the chat. If your idea is to get more revenue, less hours, real freedom, go ahead and put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. One in the chat. All right. If that's your goal, if you want more revenue, less hours, real freedom, then you have to lock yourself down in structure. The only way to have freedom is locking yourself down in structure. That's how it works. If you don't want to be diligent and disciplined to get up and have a routine that works for you and with you over time, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It is not going to work out for you in your favor. Yes, you still need to leave room for discovery and development, but you need to understand without structure, you have chaos. But see, chaos comes into your life for you to make order out of it. So if you are living chaotic right now, don't feel bad. You have to be honest about where you're at to get to where you want to be. If your life is chaotic right now, just put in the chat, I'm making order out of chaos. See, I'm specializing in systems for personal and business growth. So everything that we're going to give you translate across the board to your relationship at home and to your relationship in the office. I'm an award-winning thinker, author, speaker. I've been doing this for a long time and I have a lot of credentials, thousands of testimonials. We helped thousands of people get better in terms of speaking, time management, developing themselves, being able to walk into the room as a leader and show up as their most attractive character. So when I'm asking you this question, I'm going to fly through these slides. What do you value most? And if you could pick one, what would it be? Time or money? Time or money? I'm going to fly through these slides. Now, I also want you to put why. Anytime you answer a question, go deep to the main core, not the surface answer. And some of us will still give our surface answers, but this is why you must practice being more specific, because the more specific you get, the more prolific you become. Okay. So why? Get comfortable with why. Remember back in the day, you as a kid, hey, mommy, why? Why? And they told you to be quiet. Okay. Everything you had to learn to survive because you didn't want to get popped in the mouth, so you was quiet. I want you now to unlearn so now you could thrive. Okay, so you need to ask why. You need to go to the deepest core. Time is your greatest leverage. Without time, you have nothing. You have no thing without time. If you do not exist in time, guess what? You can't create anything. Okay. So what contributes to your success the most? Think about what affects both success and failure. See, what contributes to your success the most is your effectiveness with your time. Your effectiveness with your time directly affects your experience with money, relationships, stress, freedom, and flexibility. You've probably been on these challenges where they gave you an opportunity, say, hey, I'm going to get you closer to my team. You could work and use my resources. You could be in this community, and you wasn't able to bet on yourself. Why? You said, I don't have the money. Wait, let's think about that. Your effectiveness with time directly affects your experience with money. If you spend 1 hour of your time making $8 or making $15 or making $20, you might find it hard to part ways with $2,000 because you realize that all of the time that it took you to get the $2,000 to just hand it over like that, I don't know. I don't have the money. Let me know if it makes sense in the chat. Let me know if it makes sense what I'm saying right now. Do you connect to what I'm saying right now? See, when you start thinking about money in a way of time, and you say money is time and time is money, which is technically not, time is always greater than money, but money is also great because with money, you can get back time. So it goes hand in hand. It's about the combination. Okay, it's about the combination. Team, can we make sure that we're actually admitting people? I did see you admit people, but then you stopped. So I don't want to stop sharing the screen. Let's make sure we're admitting people, please. Thank you. All right. So we all have the same 24 hours. Before we go into the 24 hours, remember that your effectiveness with your time affects your relationships. If you don't have time with your significant other, then what happens? You start getting cranky, you start getting irritable, you start feeling like, oh, you don't have enough time for me, and now the relationship starts to suffer. If you don't have enough time for yourself, you feel overwhelmed, you start to get stressed. If you don't have enough time to go to be free, maybe travel or just maybe kick your feet up a little bit and you don't have the flexibility, or maybe you can't go to see your child's graduation because you have to work, or you can't be there for your niece's soccer game, or whatever it may be, you might get stressed. Am I making sense so far? Your effectiveness with your time directly affects your experience with your money, your relationship, stress, freedom, and flexibility. If you are making $100 every hour, you're going to see money different from someone that's making $10 an hour. Your relationship with money will be totally different from a person if you make $1,000 an hour versus a person makes $100 an hour. And believe it or not, there are people who make $100,000 an hour. I'm not one of them. I'm looking to get to that place though. Okay. So let me know if you're with me. We all have the same 24 hours, but what are you doing with yours? If you can get 2 to 3 times more result in the same time, would your life change? Like the same 24 hours that you have, but you get 2 to 3 times more results, would your life change? Let me know in the chat why. Let me know in the chat why. Because the more effective and efficient you are with your time, the better experience you have with money, relationship, stress, freedom, and flexibility. That's just the bottom line. The more effective you are with the time that you have, the overall output of your life will significantly improve. There's no doubt about it. And the number one excuse that most people have of why they haven't done something is because I didn't have the time. Okay. So now you need to understand what time truly is. Because some of us take time for granted, but time is tracking incrementally measures efficiency. The reason why time was created was to track incrementally and measure efficiency. That's why it moves as seconds. That's why we have a second hand, because it moves as seconds. It's incremental. Everything you do in your life, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, is creating the reality that you have. So tracking what you do in the time measures your efficiency. The more effective you are, then the more you can do, the more you can do, the more you can have. Make sense? Let me know in the chat. Makes sense. So, okay, but if time stands for tracking incrementally measures efficiency, then over time, tracking intentionally masters your efficiency, right? Some of you right now, you can drive super easily. Before in the past, you probably were driving slow. In fact, when you first started driving, you were scared to switch over to different lanes. All these different things were happening with you, right? And now you getting upset at somebody else who's moving slow in front of you. All right. So understand that over time you're going to master your efficiency. So while you're on this journey, stop looking
Good
for the
morning,
instant
DM
gratification.
Translation says they've been on a recorded line with Select Coach Junior.
While you're going through life, right? Don't look for the instant gratification. Don't look for the instant gratification. Make sense or no? Don't look for the instant gratification. A lot of us, we want things instantaneously. Stop looking for that, because the truth of the matter is it doesn't work like that. You don't snap your fingers and then things happen for you. It's not how it works. Everything happens over time. This journey for you is going to be paramount, and everything happens within 3 to 4 years. That's the timeline of mastery. So get comfortable. If you start a new journey, if you get into real estate, you get into AI, you get into buying businesses, it doesn't matter. Feel comfortable in knowing that this is going to be the 3 to 4 year process. This is not a get rich overnight scheme. It's not one of those things. It's not. It's going to take time, and anything worth having is going to take a little bit of time. Like if you have a child, the child's not going to pop out as soon as you're pregnant. It needs to take time. Everything takes time. So just making sense. Make sure we make sense on that. All right. Let's continue to speed through. So over time, we understand that it's about mastery. That's how you're going to master it. So everything important to you in your life is tracked and measured for efficiency. Now, remember, when we're speaking to you, we're speaking from a neutral place. It's up to you to imagine what we're saying for these principles into your experience of your industry. Okay. So whatever we're talking about, I want you to think about how it helps and affects your industry, but also how it impacts your personal life, because your personal and your business life is not really separate. It's the same thing. The way you do one thing is how you do almost everything. And if you are giving everything to your business and you're not giving anything to yourself, then you're on a ticking time clock to destruction. So if you understand that, if I am the person, I am a business, everyone tap themselves on the chest and say, I am the business. You have to treat your life like a business. You are the CEO of your life. And if you can't be the CEO of your own life, then guess what? You cannot be a CEO of a business. It's unfortunate. You just won't be successful. Okay. Because this is about intangibles. So as we continue to go through this, remember, you have to track pretty much everything you do as a business owner, or if you're looking to improve, okay, in any area, you must start to track it. See, income is measured in hours, right? Per hour. You might get a salary, but trust me, as an employer, yeah, we still calculated it through the hour. Speed is measured in miles per hour. Relationships, how long did it last? How long was your last relationship? You might ask a question like that. What about your life? You might say, how old are you? You're measuring everything from that's important to your life. And you're always doing it, even when in business, right? ROI, return on investment. Even some of you might be looking to shed a couple pounds right there down the low, but you might be selling, you might see yourself a different way and say, okay, I stepped on the scale and I don't like the fact of the numbers that I saw. Let me tone it down. Okay. Everything that's important to you is tracked. So when you think that you're lacking time, money, or opportunities, right? You might say, I don't have enough opportunities, or I might not have the money, or I don't have time. Most likely you're lacking the visibility on how your time is actually being used. I don't have time or I don't have money. Yeah, but what have you spent your money on? What have you spent your time on? Which opportunities were you skeptical of that really you should have taken and that would have actually put you in a position of power? So most likely you're lacking visibility of how many opportunities you passed up on. And if we know what poor means, passing over opportunities repeatedly, then some of us, we can't even count how many opportunities we passed over, right? And then some of us, we know we've taken risks that we didn't think that would pan out, and we still did it anyway. And then something great happened, right? So just think about it. Whatever you don't measure, you cannot improve. If you are 10 pounds overweight, but you don't know that, you can't really do it. You won't really do anything to truly know where you're at on the scale. This is why they created a scale. This is why time is invented, so that way you can have a visibility of where where your weight is or where your time is going. That's important. So in other words, it's called a system. Everybody put system in the chat. Your system determines how effective you are within the time that you have. Your current reality is a reflection of your system. Saving yourself significant energy, time, money. If your system is doing the opposite, if it's costing you significant time, energy, money, your system is not working. But if your system is working, guess what? You stop guessing, you stop wasting time, and you start optimizing. If you ever felt like I don't make enough money, I'm always stressed, I don't have the time, my relationships are draining, I just want you to know it wasn't your effort, baby. It wasn't your effort. You gave good effort. But maybe you were lacking a system. That's the truth here. Most people are lacking systems. You may be feeling busy. You're just overthinking instead of executing. Maybe you're feeling like, I need to over worry. And now you're worried about things you can't control. You're spending money in places with no return. Saying yes to everything, not tracking your progress, scrolling for 2 hours a day, which is 60 plus hours a month. That's a whole entire full-time work week wasted. So sometimes you're busy, but you're not effective. If that's you, put that's me in the chat. Don't be afraid about where you are, because we're getting to where we want to be. In order to get to where we want to be, we have to be honest about where we're at. So life is mathematical and systematic. So when we're going through these next few weeks on the call, so next Monday, we're not going through a slide like this. We're doing intentional work, right? We're doing intentional work. But you need to create your roadmap. What do you need to be getting done in the next week? That all needs to be taking place. Everyone needs to create their roadmap today. It's not a waste of time. I don't want you to do it tomorrow. I want you to do it today. If you create your roadmap today, it will allow you to get to where you want to be. Life is mathematical. It's all about the combinations in which you do things. Life is systematic. It's about how it gets done. So what you do daily creates your results. What you believe in, you'll be living. What you focus on expands. And right now, you're perfectly designed to get the results you're currently getting. You're perfectly designed. Do you like the results that you have right now? Put a yes in the chat or put a no in the chat. If you are stressed, Stress is a sign of inefficiency. That means you probably were trying to control everything. Maybe you was focusing on what you don't have. You're focusing on some things that you lack, and then you're taking on other people's problems. And I have that one in italicized because most of us, that's what we're doing, taking on other people's problems. And as a business owner, you will take on other people's problems, but you do it in a way that doesn't cause stress. It causes you to say yes, right? Because when you solve that problem, they pay you. They pay you. Right. So when you start solving problems, they pay you. So now my take on it, if you start solving your own problems, you can get paid being you. You must solve your own problems. I get paid to be myself. People buy my likeness, they buy my intellectual property. And sometimes, I just feel great about it. I feel gratitude because I have a lot of freedom, flexibility, a lot of revenue. I love it. I appreciate it, but I'm making impact. That's what I care about the most. I'm making impact and I'm not stressed about it. So which life are you living, ladies and gentlemen? Are you living an inconsistent life where you're lacking money? You're having a lot of ups and downs in your relationships. Maybe you feel stressed, overwhelmed, reactive. Maybe you're not learning the things you really want to learn. And every time you learn, you start and then you stop. So therefore, you're playing catch up or you're always feeling off balance. After like maybe 3 weeks in a row, you've been doing something great, and then somehow something comes into your life and throws you off track. If that's you, that's life A. Which life are you living? Life A or life B? Are you living in life B where it's more consistent? You have growing income, you're aligned, you have healthy relationships, you're calm, focused, stress-free energy, you have clear direction, and you control your time. Which life do you want to have? Put it in the chat. Okay. See, if you do have a problem, your problem is your opportunity. I don't care which industry you're in. Anytime you see a problem, that's an opportunity. Every single business was built on the fact of a problem. Every business that is ever created, there was a problem, and then the business is the solution. Tap yourself on the chest and say, I'm the solution. Even in any area of your own life, there's a solution. If you don't have struggle, you don't have growth. If you don't feel pressure, there might not be any progress. So if you feel a little struggle, don't get upset. It's not about seeing the negatives. It's about recognizing the notifications. If you're struggling in the area of finance, it doesn't mean you're broke. It just means you should focus more on working on your finances. Make sense? You must struggle in some areas in order to grow because that's the only way you learn. Sometimes we got a hard head, but a hard head makes let's put it together. So the obstacles that you're currently experiencing is preparing you for your next level. You may be fearful to talk to brokers, motivated sellers. You may be scared to go out there to market your business on social media. No more fear. I'm acting like Joe Rogan today. Fear is no longer a factor for you. Okay, because we understand if I feel a little pressure right there, I'm not going to make any progress if I don't go through it. So if everyone who's feeling a little nervous today about posting on social media, I need you to post on social media. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, it's not scary. It's only your mind holding you back. Now, remember the skills that you create. Like if you're struggling financially and if you start to learn some income skills, that skill set will help you to create future freedom. So everything that you're working on right now, remember, it's like you're in the gym for your mind. Like when you come here to our Love Plus platform to do the MVP leadership and accountability, this is your place like a gym, like to work out your mind, to get something going for you, to build momentum, to build flow. So this is your space to grow. Feel happy. Every time you come here, you will leave with some growth. So remember, we went over them 4 pillars of results. There aren't any secrets to success. There are only systems. You must have a vision, communicate your system, team, execution. You cannot win without these 4 things. And maybe I'm making this up, but somebody tell me in the chat if you can. If you won and you didn't include any of these 4, you let me know how you did it, because maybe I'm making a mistake and I'm always open to learning. Okay. Your system determines how effective you are with your time. Remember, we said that the greatest thing that's contributing to your success and failure is how effective you are with your time. Well, your system determines how effective you are with your time. Your current reality is a reflection of your system. Once again, is it saving you significant time, energy, and money, or is it costing you significant time, energy, and money? The system changes everything. Right? We all want good results with less effort. If that's you, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you want good results with less effort, you don't want to work harder, you do want to work smarter and higher, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. That's why you need a system. Just by you recognizing that, that's why you need a system. So this is a little excerpt of the system that I've created back in. I'm just showing you numbers. This is not to impress you or anything. This is just to show you that without the system, I wouldn't have created this and I wouldn't have helped other people create thousands of dollars in opportunities and go on and get promoted in their businesses. Because that's what we're doing here. You don't have to quit your 9 to 5. When we're helping you grow like this, you can still keep your 9 to 5. You can still be a real estate investor. You can still have your own business. You can still do all of that. And I encourage you to do it because your business, your current job is your first business partner. So let's work with him, but have a system that can allow you to get money easily and effortlessly. Where back in the day when I used to work and do graphics for Netflix and Roku, I used to make $50,000 a year. And now, being a full-time entrepreneur since 2019, stepping into leadership, I've had plenty $50,000 days. You see the difference that I'm referring to? Like, it's cool, but I needed to become more effective with my time. I'm sorry, $50,000 was good for a year, but with taxes and everything, you might not even collect $50,000 total. Especially in New York City, they take half already. So I need to become more effective in less time. Imagine getting $11,000 one day. Imagine having all of this in the same day. So this is once again not to try to be a show off or anything like that. I'm just sharing with you. Like, and this is not some overnight thing. Go back, look at the dates on this: 2020, 2023, right? So you get $20,000 in one day, $12,000 in a day, $25,000. And look at it. Some of them right back to back. On October 26th, got $25,000. On October 30th, got $25,000. You can see it back to back like this, right? So I'm just showing you that in real time, this is what can happen for you by using the same principles because they're transferable. Yes, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have days where you don't make a lot of money, but you're going to have days where you make a lot of money. It's not about the days that you make money and the days you don't make money. It's about the system that you have that can forecast the money. You get what I'm saying to you? Forecast it. And that's where we're going with this. And that's why we love having our jobs, because we can forecast it. But with this today, all we're talking about is setting you up so that way you can have a system. All right? Yeah, if you look at this, sometimes I had $17,000 in a day, but I also had 198 in a day. But I don't want you to look at the small things as negatives. I want you to look at it as a notification. How much? Okay, it's $198, but can that knock off a cell phone bill? Can it knock off maybe the light bill? Can it knock off some other things? Can it take care of it? So we're looking at it like that. How many expenses can we eliminate? Because a lot of us have 20, 30, 40, 50 expenses and only one income. Remember what I just said earlier, that life is mathematical. It's about the combinations in which you have. So if you have all of these expenses and you only have one stream of income, ladies and gentlemen, I think the expenses are winning. And I think that is clear to see that. Let me know in the chat if it's clear to see that after we're breaking it down like this. Okay, so being able to make $500,000, as you can see right here, with just being able to build my ideas out, make an app and build out the app. I'm just telling you, like, if I could do it, you could do it, and that's why we're here to show you and prove it to you that you can do it. Once again, this is not about like showing off or making you feel something, because I know there's a lot of successful people in here, and there's probably some people in here that make way more than what we just showed on the screen. But what I'm showing you is that it is possible. Now, the one thing that we're going to do, we got to get ready to close up, is if you have, let me share my screen. If you have a system, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you don't have a system that tracks your progress, go ahead and put a 0 in the chat. So we have systems like this, which are trackers, and you can make your own like this as well. And everyone here is always welcome to be on our Love Plus platform for free. And we have the tools, and I'll share that with you. I should have shared that in the beginning. I don't know. I'll skip that by accident. But let me share my screen with you all. So far, are we getting value? So far, are we getting value or not? Let us know. Okay. So are you having your days like this where the task is listed out and you're getting things checked off and then you can visually see it? Imagine that you can visually see what you're doing. How does it make you feel if you can visually see it? So Dr. Gwen, let me know in the chat, how does it make you feel to be able to visually see your progress on the screen? In fact, you can come over mute. You come over mute. Let me send you a request. Come over mute.
Greetings.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. I love your smile, by the way. You always bring
Thank
good
you.
energy. So thank you for that. If
You're
you
welcome.
see your progress on the screen, how do you feel?
Like I'm accomplishing my goals
Mm.
for the day, for the day.
Okay, I like that. I like that for the day.
hmm
Now, if you saw that you have 78% completion, how would you feel about that?
Like I'm slacking somewhere.
Okay. Well, so I don't want you all to feel like you're slacking anywhere. If you have 70 to 80% completion, you're pretty much doing a good job. Do you know how most people have 30% or less
hmm
completion?
hmm
So this is not to compare everyone, it's just to let you know that you're not always going to get 100% of things done. It's just not how it works. But you want to look at things in an accumulation. Your life is an accumulation. You just didn't wake up and become Dr. Gwen. No, it took years of refinement for you to become the person that you're shining as right now.
Absolutely.
So the same thing works when it comes to your progress. So by you seeing these numbers, you grade yourself like, damn, all right, I'm feeling good. A Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm above 80. Look, that's pretty good.
hmm
I'll shoot for the 100%, and you can shoot for the 100%, right? So your next week you go up. Now look what you did next week, right? Next week you see it, you're like, all right, cool. And you added more tasks,
hmm
right? Then you're adding, okay, what do I need to do at the bottom? Now you put some more notes in and you're able to see these things. Okay. So now you're at 98%, you're able to measure. But once again, as you go throughout the weeks, look what will happen. You will be up, you will be down. But if you're tracking everything, you can now say to yourself, okay, I have 3 weeks where I was great, 1 week where I slack. How can I get better now? Instead of feeling bad about yourself, you just ask, how can I get better? And then you go
Right.
back to the days that you seen what you were doing, and now it works out for you, right?
Right.
So what I use is this app here. This is Meltos. Y'all don't have to use our app, but this is what we created with the Love Plus platform alongside the Love Plus platform. This is a personal operating system. This is for us to create. If everyone knows about the 80-20 rule, where you spend 20% of effort to get 80% of the results, this is what we modeled this after, right? And this is how we created this. So basically, we want to become our most effective sales within 30 days or less, and then keep doing it. So what we have put together is a system for us um, to build on. Now, what we do from this is we get 2+ hours a day back, and then we're also able to 3x, 2x our results as far as completing our tasks. Now, when we created this was really to help us build in a way that would make us super effective. So as I zoom in on the screen, you can see here, similar to the other one, right? That we had like the spreadsheet, it shows us too where we are. See, things are color coded here because signs and symbols rule the world. Now, anyone, we know when you see red, how do you feel when you see red? It's a feeling you get. Signs and symbols rule the world. If you see red, it kind of gives you what? Put it in the chat what feeling. If you see yellow, what feeling do you get? And if you see green, which feeling do you get? So being able to have something like this for me, where it's helping me have a habit matrix where I can see if I'm completing everything, this is super important. And giving me a roadmap. Like I mentioned to you all, you need to create your roadmap. You don't need to use this tool to create your roadmap, but you can do it on your own, but you still need to create your roadmap. Your roadmap is your GPS to success. And if you don't start where you're at, you can never reach where you want to reach. Okay. And on it, we have a coach. This is basically me. I put all my information here from my books, pretty much all like 5 of my top books, and I put it all in here. And I also put my own information that's not in those books that I just felt like add into here. And the biggest thing I love here is giving myself the priority of what to do. So I love giving everyone else the priority as well and say, okay, what should I prioritize? And then based on what you have as far as your 90-day goals are, the coach would dissect it and say your highest leverage assignment right now is 1 hour of deep work on your launch strategy. And it'll let you know where you're at and tell you exactly what to do. See, this is what I figured out. Most of us don't know exactly what to do. We're lacking in direction. But if we get a little bit of clarity, then we can have direction. If you don't have clarity, you have confusion, and a confused mind is a mind that doesn't move. If you have clarity, you'll start to move in the direction you truly want to. So it's beautiful to see the metrics, right? Like Dr. Gwen was saying, She was looking at it. You say, oh, I'm slacking. But you could look at it as, oh, I'm getting close. Like, see, I'm at 70%. I'm getting close. I'm almost at 100%. Oh, I'm at 45. Yeah, I'm reaching my target weight. I'm moving, right? I'm launching my course. I'm only 20%. All right, it's cool, but I got 20% done. I'm moving closer. So instead of looking at what you don't have and what you lack, you start to look at what you do have and what you're stacking. And this is how we create win stacks. Everyone put win stack in the chat. This is how we create win stacks. This is what creates momentum. It's what moves with speed. So this is what we're going to break down next week. We'll be going through this. So if you want to get this, you can. It's only $2 for a 7-day trial. You don't have to. Remember, you don't have to get this. I like to use this because it's automated, but you can do it on your own. You take out a pen and paper and you write down your particular roadmap, okay? And then you'll be super successful. Okay, you'll be super successful. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen on this part and I'm going to go to Love Plus. Remember, this is free for you all. You can go to my development, go to loveplus.com, put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat. Click that link right there. You can go to loveplus.com and then you can go to your developments. So if you are struggling in clarity, you need to have more clarity. All you do is go to the clarity tab and you take the challenges. Basically, it's going to give you the systems to be able to have more clarity and direction. If it's you building business contracts or business plans, or let's just say for you, it's real estate. We have the real estate deal evaluation challenges where you go in here and you learn how to evaluate real estate. Communication, maybe you're selling products or selling a software or selling a service. You need to learn how to communicate. You go in here and communicate. A lot of the stuff that we have in here, and everyone is going to have free access to this, even if it's down to the confidence, you can use it. Your connection, consistency, even building up credit. I don't, really advertise that, but it is there, right? So for you to learn these skill sets, and then a lot of them are free. So take advantage of all the free ones and go ahead and really use that to win stack. And you'll be good, even down to fitness. If you're looking to get rid of the sugar that's in your life, this is a platform for growth. Maybe build your leadership, maybe even learn how to meditate. If you're overwhelmed and stressed, you want to learn how to pitch better. You want to stop procrastinating. You want to have more productivity, public speaking, relationships, you name it, you have it here. Okay. And the reason, once again, why I created this is because I believe that if we could be our best selves, the world can become better. So we want to create 1 liter a day or 1 liter at a time and then improve the world that way. Yes, I'm a humanitarian. I do volunteer and I do love to spread love to my people. With that being said, we are out of time. But today, remember, here's the takeaways from today. What you do with your time directly affects the results in your life. How effective you are with your time directly affects your relationship with money, family and friends, whether you're stressed or your freedom and flexibility. Okay. So all we're doing every Monday is we set the tone for the week. So this week you need to be auditing what you're doing, auditing your time. If you want to get the Meltos app, you can. Just put I want the app in the chat and I'll send you the link for the app. If you want to do it on your own, you could do it on your own. You don't need the Meltos app, but we're always going to be the ones to give you the resources here so that way you can be successful. Dwayne, keep your hand up if you have a question. At this moment, I'm going to excuse everyone. If you are ready to go, you can go. If you would like to stay on for a little bit, you can stay on if you have a question. But other than that, we're going to close out. So if you have a question, raise your virtual hand. If you do, if you don't, you should be good. All right, Dwayne, I see that you're good. So while we're getting ready to leave, what we are going to do is we're going to have everyone come off of mute, and then we're going to snap it up and clap it up. I'll go ahead and grab that link for the app. Okay. Is it Shanita? Shanita Crawford?
Yes, thank you. And you did say it right. Quick question. So this is gonna always be on Mondays at 8:30?
Well, perfect. I'm glad you said that too, because we were gonna send out notifications, but I'd rather say it online too. Going forward, it will be 7:55. So we're gonna come in at 8 right? So 7:55. So at least we start by 8 because we want to get you out before 9.
Okay, awesome. Because I have a team meeting on Mondays at 9, like we do role play. And so I was like split between and not able to focus. And I really want to be able to focus on this.
Okay, good. I love that. Thank you for bringing that up. See how we work? See how it works like that in life? So yes, 7:55 to 8:55 is going to be what you will be in the following Mondays.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right. Everyone send some love in the chat. Everyone send some love in the chat. Corey, I put the app in the chat for you. If you all can, let's have you come off of mute and snap it up and clap it up. Can we send the request? Yeah, come off mute. We sent the request now. Everyone come off mute. Snap it up and clap it up. Go out with a
Stepping
bang.
in the left, it's a brainwave shift. Turn playing in the game, every
Go out
loss.
there and be amazing.
City on my back,
Go ahead.
posture rich.
Let's go, let's go. Turn it up. Come on.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Thanks,
my brother.
You are the best of the best. Top of the top.
Right.
Cream of the
Thank you,
crop.
Coach.
Come on.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Not a pathway paved with the winds I claim.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Coach. Power, money, respect, I evolve with it. New pathways in my head, watch me solve with it. Change, transform, I was built to collect more life, more growth, that's the real asset. Yeah. Power, money, respect, put it all on deck. New pathways when I move, every thought direct. Change, transform, I was born to connect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset. Pocket full of plans, I don't chase loose change. Every dollar just data, I expand my range. Stack days, stack skills, then the paper grows. I invest in the mind, that's how favor flows. Had to silence every doubt, that's a loud old voice. Now I edit my beliefs like a ground up choice. Turn fear into fuel, turn stress into steps. Every setback, sketching out the stairs I rep. Yeah, I pivot when the path look blocked off. If the road ain't there, then I blast off. From the gutter in my thoughts to a glass
Go
door.
out there and be the
Got
best
the
of the
bed on
best.
my brain, that's a jackpot. Yeah, yeah. Power, money, respect, I evolve with it. New pathways in my head, watch me solve with it. Change, transform, I was built to collect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset. Yeah. Power, money, respect, put it all on deck. New pathways when I move, every thought direct. Change, transform, I was born to connect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset.